This is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like a steak.
Everyone, welcome back to Unemployable. I am here with Joel Barr. Joel, tell us who you are, all about you.
Professionally, I'm a user researcher and service designer, homeowner, dog dad, tortoise dad, chicken dad, plant dad.
I love chickens.
Well, I've got 11.
Oh my gosh, it's the
They're
best. Wait, so where are you located again?
Kansas City, Missouri.
Wow, so you're like really far from me. Missouri. What's it like to live in Missouri?
It's cheap. That's first off. Cost of living's dirty cheap.
Is it cold there now?
It is cold here. It's winter, and sure. I think the best parts of Missouri are actually not in the northern part of the state. It's in the southern part of the state. We have untold miles of rivers,
Yeah,
caves, and grand adventures to go on.
that's so cool. I've never been to Missouri.
Largely untouched.
Wow.
So truly wild places where cell phones don't work.
So a perfect place to bury a body, is what you're saying.
If one were so inclined and needed to, by golly, we got the place for it.
Very cool. Okay, so tell us. So you've also been on this job search journey, right? For how long have you been looking? Or are you not looking?
That's a great question. I've been at the last time I closed a laptop in enterprise was November of 24.
Okay. So you are looking ish. I mean, you're a pretty big deal on LinkedIn. You have like over 15,000 followers. People think you're hilarious.
I'm very lucky, and I'm humbled that people are inclined to find me entertaining enough to
You
follow
are.
me.
You're so funny. I love all your posts.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it.
How'd you get started, doing that?
Being funny?
Yeah, or being funny and realizing that people think you're funny. Because I think for me anyway, everyone's always told me like, oh, you're so funny. But actually realizing that I can make a lot of people laugh by writing funny shit, that was an epiphany for me.
Yeah. Well, first time I ever met you, I wrote you on LinkedIn. I said you ought to write for SNL because you have a bite to your writing that's a rare thing, and it's not just that it bites, it's that it's salient and it bites. That's the hard thing. Anyone can write funny. Very
Right.
few people can ground it into a salient point
The
that
human truth.
yeah
What I
that
like to
that
say.
that drives home the point, and that's hard. That's the hard thing. But I enjoy your writing a great deal, and I think your satire is hilarious, and
Thank you.
I'm constantly amazed that people take you as seriously as they do.
I know. So serious. It's not that serious, guys, really. But whatever. Can't control other people. So what are you looking for? Like if you could apply for your dream job, like what would it be today? I hate this question, but I'm asking you anyway.
No, it's a good question. I think it would be something in operational UX research, service design.
Yeah.
There's a thing that so when you're out of a job for a year, you start to rethink where you want to be and how you want to do it and where you think you'll make your greatest impact. And I gotta say, it's not in a product org, not in traditional sense. When I got into the field, being a user researcher was a field job. It was something you accepted, right? That you were going to be on the road a lot. You were going to do a lot of travel. You were going to spend essentially most all of your time with users in the field,
Mm-hmm.
watching them, asking them questions, etc.
Right.
In 2019, that stopped, right? COVID happened. We all go into remote work, and operations is, you can't really do operations when everybody's, 6 feet apart and all that.
Right.
And so we got folded as a discipline into product with our design cousins. And now that COVID's over, I'd love to get back to work. In other words, step back out of product and go into operations
Right.
and map systems and services, kind of being the apex between systems design and service design, where we take both the humanity of being human and making errors
Right.
and system efficiencies, undoing bottlenecks, operational flow.
Right.
for our users.
Mm-hmm.
Only I don't think enterprise is ready for that yet. They don't want to, if it were me, I would tie user research to sales, to implementation, to client success, and not to NPS, CSAT, even time on task, right? Or any of the other benchmark metrics that we try to show our value in. If we tie ourselves to sales, suddenly research and design become very valuable indeed.
Right. I mean, which, when you think about it, we should be tied to sales, because we're just having this conversation with someone yesterday. People ask you to define what is good design. Well, what do you want it to do? And then I will tell you if it's good. Do you want it to convert? Is it converting? Then I will tell you if it's good. Do you just want it to look pretty and hang on a wall? Then I will tell you if it's good. There's not a right answer for is this good design without knowing what you are designing for. And we have totally lost that plot.
Yes, we have.
And it
Web
is
pages are now, or have been, and will continue to be giant brochures. They don't
right.
do anything; they just inform.
Inform, which is fine if that's what you want. If your user is not purchasing your product online, they are going there strictly for information, that's great. Then it is good design, because you're getting impressions, and that's what you did it for. But I go into these interviews with like super high level C-suite execs, and they're asking me all these questions, and I'll throw them back and I'll say, well, what are you designing for? Who are you designing for?
Who are you designing for?
They cannot answer it. They cannot answer it. And it is so scary. It's scary that these are the people that are in charge right now. This is why everything looks the same. I mean, we are leaning towards, like, I joke about it, but totalitarianism, like, this is how it starts, guys. Who do they silence first? The artists, the rebels, the people who reach the masses. Like, I joke about the Omnicom merger and like all the companies they're buying, but they're going to control the narrative soon. And that's really fucking scary. And I feel like
User
nobody.
user testing is another one. They just bought up user interviews.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean, come on, like,
if you talk to the folks at user interviews, they'll stay on. But it's getting to the point now where there are a number of different companies, the clones, as it were, who for years have been trying to chip away at the value of user research in
right.
a company. We make research quick and easy, card sorts and unmoderated tests, and that's all you need. And my thing is, take it. You want to be in product so bad? Go for it. That's not where we do our best work. We do our best work in the field. We are human factors psychologists and anthropologists, all of us,
Right.
to one way or another. And so the idea of us sitting in product and sitting on a computer in an office is negating where we do our best work. It'd be like if you took a painter and said, okay, I want you to make me a masterpiece, but I don't want you to use any canvas at all, no wood and no paintbrushes. Here's some paints, go to work.
Figure it out. I mean, that shift you're talking about in 2019, do you think it's because a lot of. So I don't know how to word this in a way that makes sense outside of my brain. So I saw this whole, when I was in school, I studied advertising, right?
Mm-hmm.
UI design, UX design, those things did not exist. Those phrases did not exist. There was no buzzwords back then, right? Then I went to ad school. Print was still the rage. Print, billboards. I remember Subservient Chicken. Do you remember that? Burger King. That came out when I was in ad school, like my last year. And I was like, oh my God, we can do cool shit with the internet. Like Crispin did that. And, being in Miami, and Crispin was always like the GOAT, whatever. So then I was like, shit, I want to be an art director for web. So I got deep into web. Like, I have only worked at digital agencies where we did some print, but mostly web. My book is pretty much all web, right? User testing became digital. Like, where's the hotspot? Where's the user stalling? Where are they clicking? Why? Not why. It was never why. It was where. And how can we get them to click here? So, like, when did that shift take place? When did we go from why are they clicking to where are they clicking? Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
I do. The truth is, I don't rightly remember when the switchover happened. It came to prominence most often in during COVID,
Yeah.
where it became a matter of targeting, not
Right.
function, which I always thought was strange. You do what you're told. You do the work if you can find it. So, I always looked for orgs that emphasize product being used out into the field.
hmm
I really enjoyed my work with CDK. I really enjoyed my work with Lowe's Home Improvement. We went out to stores and customers and deliveries and cross stocks and all sorts of things. I enjoy my work now, that despite its absolutely paltry paycheck, but it puts me out in warehouses and
hmm
trucking avenues where I get to watch people interact with digital processes in order to complete tasks. I've never had so much fun.
Yeah. You get to see new people every day. That's
It's
amazing.
wonderful. I get to know the
Yeah.
drivers and where they've been and which warehouses I need to go to next, and it's wonderful because I'm always in the field. I'm always doing something. No,
Yeah. And it's so valuable because you're seeing real people working with a real product where you can influence real results. And
yeah,
all of a sudden, all of those things cease to matter. I'm so confused. Like, did it happen in college? Like, are the kids who are learning UX now, this has to be what they're learning. They're not learning why or how. They're learning where.
so there was no such thing as a UX degree.
Yeah, no, there wasn't. I know.
Don't
It's really strange to me. Oh, and then I was talking to my sister a couple of days ago and we were just like going back and forth and she was like, I'm optimizing a website for what word did she use? So there's SEO and now there's AIO, artificial intelligence optimization. Have you heard of this yet?
I have
Yeah, so that's like the new.
for the landing page for Float Goat. There's a portion on there that I say, "Ask your AI what Float Goat is."
Yeah. And they have to, she's like, there's a whole team where they just enter in words to make sure that the AI picks it up on the website. It's like, wow, okay. So people are hiring. So it's like a brand new job. I mean, I can do that. It doesn't feel so hard. I don't know.
I have a friend who's a an communications person, marketing, social media, and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she's building a website for a lawn care company. On occasion I'll consult with it and all that, but she's trying to optimize for AI. And I thought this is where we've gotten to. The brochures have gone from let Google pick it up to let the robots pick it up.
Right. No one cares about Google.
Doesn't serve any purpose whatsoever other than that your AI picks it up.
Right.
There's no functionality.
They don't have to call your call center because the answer is right in front of them.
And Cantera does some great talks on conversational AI
Hmm.
about how it's less about information and more that it does something. I always like that. I'm much more inclined towards action than sitting around doing nothing and waiting for
Yeah. Give us an
AI to come
example. Like,
around.
what does it do?
What does what do?
The AI. So instead of just answering a question, it does something. Like, does something, like, in what way?
Well, so in Anne's thesis, right, is that it provides actionable information such that the user can be in control of their fate. In other words, you're not just pressing buttons to go along with a script. There's a point at which the user takes an action that provides some value.
Right.
And many of the AI conversations are not built around that. They're essentially go around in circles in this giant rabbit hole of press 1 for yes and 2 for no. But they don't really do anything.
Right. They're information hoarders. Sometimes I'll start talking to ChatGPT when I'm bored and be like, hey, ChatGPT, tell me what I should be doing today. He's like, well, do you want to rabble rouse or like, yeah.
I
So
got
when
nothing.
did your like LinkedIn fame start? Like when did you start realizing that, oh my gosh, I have like a shit ton of followers? Did you notice it or am I the first person telling you?
I mean, I think followers are kind of a vanity metric. My
Right?
posts are still seen by ones of tens of people.
I mean, people respect what you have to say. And like for example, like Alfie. Like I was talking to Alfie and she's like, "Oh my god, you're friends with Joel Barr?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know him from LinkedIn." She's like, "He's literally the best person I've ever met in my life." And I'm like, "That is high praise." I was like, I have to talk to Joel.
I am very humbled that people look at me with such esteem.
But it's wild because, okay, you are amazing. Like, just me talking to you for 28 minutes or 28 minutes in, and I'm like, this guy knows his shit. You're so smart. How are people not tripping over themselves to have you on their team? Like, I cannot wrap my head around. It's not, I mean, it's you plus everyone I've spoken to. It's mind blowing to me. I don't understand. Like, how could anyone be better than you? How could a Gen Z person be better than you? They can't be. They can't. So, like, what is happening? What's your theory? Do you got any?
I tried my very best not to foretell the future.
Did you
just-
see that whole August 12th, 2026 thing where Earth's going to lose gravity for 7 seconds and we're all going to die? Have you seen that?
But gravity is constant. You don't just lose it.
I know. And it's all over social media. My 11-year-old yesterday, she was like, Mommy. She was like so scared. I'm like, Herbert, it's not going to happen. And if it does, just like fill up the bathtub and lay in the water. You'll be fine. We're all jumping in the pool. It's cool.
That's not science. I try not to tell the future. I think LinkedIn is filled with a great deal of soothsayers, right? Shaman of the LinkedIn. They know they read the bones and they can tell the future and they can tell you where it's all going and doom and gloom.
Let's call them what they are, tech bros.
Well, I mean, technically, I'm a tech bro, right? You're tech sister.
You have to be a douche to be a tech bro.
Do you really? I
Like
miss
a douche canoe. Do you know what that is? It's my new favorite saying.
I don't. I think one of the things I've really tried to do over the last 2 years or so is only write or post or make a point on somebody's posting when I feel like the public good is served, right? And so there's any number of, AI fortune tellers out there, right? You could patterns of speech and that sort of thing. You know full well that that's not an original thought. It's I think one of the one of the goofiest things in social media, like the epoch of laziness is having a computer generate a post for you and then you put it out there under your own name. I just don't get why people like. I get that it's easy and set it and forget it, and I just don't have I really try not to respond to those because they're not making a point that's them.
Yeah, and it's also how people are reacting though to these posts, and they're getting a lot of traction, I want to say. Some of them are, at least, which is so weird to me. It's like, can't you tell that AI wrote that? It's pretty easy to tell at this point. Everything sounds the same, but that's what they want.
Anytime I see the words hot take, I pretty well. Hot take,
Right.
spicy take. Bye.
I've definitely said that before, I feel like, on one of my posts, but it really was a real hot take.
Well, as long as it's genuine, it's the less the words and the little more than it is the little red siren
Right. Oh,
lights
the
next to it.
emojis. Oh my God. The emojis. Ugh.
Yeah, if I start seeing a bunch of emojis in a post, I'm just like, okay,
Yeah.
you didn't write that. Your robot wrote that.
Right.
That's fine. You're not really
The
serious.
robot wrote that.
I think a lot of people that post inflammatory shit on LinkedIn don't really mean what they mean. They
You
don't.
think?
Yeah, I don't think that. I think they just copy and paste. But I haven't it's not nobody has any operational studies, dedicated to that yet. So
Yeah. Where do you think LinkedIn's going? Like, do you think I heard a rumor that they just hired a content creation team over there and they're trying to like find content creators to essentially like work for LinkedIn? And because when you think about it, LinkedIn is UGC. The whole platform is. I mean, so is Facebook, so is Twitter, so is or X, so is Instagram, TikTok. We make the platform good. And I think they're finally recognizing that. Hopefully, anyway. Hire me to be a LinkedIn influencer. I'll make it fun.
to what end though?
I don't know. It's going to be, they probably will just want people to sell shit so then they get a cut of it. Because I know if you sell through Instagram, because I have a friend who's an Instagram influencer, and you sell through a link, they get a cut of whatever. If someone clicks on an Instagram.
Affiliate marketing.
Yeah. They probably want to do something like that, I would assume. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know what the end game is.
I think the end game is to sell advertising,
Right.
right?
Which they do already, don't
Which they
they?
do already, and which is if that's your bag, then I'd say they're doing just fine.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, also,
even if you pay for it, you still don't get an ad-free experience.
right. Agreed.
So
I was gonna say the LinkedIn Premium Enterprise is $90 a month now. Is that insane?
nope.
Like, what are you getting for that? You're not getting.
Exactly.
I don't get what the value is.
Well, you're getting exposure, which if your ego thrives on the glory of everyone liking you, then maybe you'll pay for it. To me, a lot of subscriptions, and this is true of a lot of the tools. It's like playing skee ball. You ever play skee ball? You a fan?
Of course. I love
No.
skee ball. I'm a millennial.
Yeah.
Yes, I played skee ball.
So if you look at the end-to-end system of how you play skee ball,
Mm-hmm.
it is very similar to the subscription models of enterprise, right? You're taking real money, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
turning it into tokens,
Mm-hmm.
which are meaningless. They're mass-produced pennies, fractions of pennies to produce a token. Then putting that into an experience, right? Where hopefully you score well, but if you don't, who cares?
Right.
And even if you do well, you don't get your money back, you get tickets,
Mm-hmm.
which are produced less than
Right.
tokens were.
Yeah.
And then you go and trade those in for a spider compass,
Right.
which has no value whatsoever. And it damn
Right.
sure doesn't have the same value as the money you put in the beginning of the experience.
Right.
And so I think a lot of companies that want you to pay for experiences have never played skee ball and don't get futility of the experience, that it's supposed to be fun. They take skee ball very, very seriously because that's their money
Mm-hmm.
refusing to pay in order to have an experience.
Right. I mean, also, it's funny you say that because it got me thinking. It's like, okay, so what holds value? Like, say you're in Chuck E. Cheese and you're playing skee ball. Inside Chuck E. Cheese, your tickets, your tokens, those all hold incremental value to you. But the minute you walk outside of Chuck E. Cheese, they are worth nothing. And so
Precisely.
we have all these brands that are trying to sell us things, but where's the value? How does this hold value for me? And how can you show me that it does? And with everything starting to look the same and feel the same, where's the value?
Yes, ma'am.
We just tied that in a nice little bow.
Well, part of it goes back to what are you measuring, right?
Mhm.
If we're measuring the experience with traditional metrics, as it were, do you trust that the system as it sits right now is beneficial and has value to you?
I do not. Do you?
Not particularly. Not particularly. I don't trust a lot of it. I think, and I know this from working with vendors within UX research, right? Like once you're not willing to pay, for tokens or whatever it is, or for time,
Right.
seats, people sell seats. I don't know why, but once you're not willing to pay for it, the ability for a team to get out of that tool is very difficult. And I'll give you a great example. I was where was I? Who was I working for? VMware, I think it was. And they wanted to stop using a particular repository. And I don't want to throw any names out reputationally, because a lot of people know this story who I've talked to. And it's a great tool when you're paying for it. When you're not, if you want to switch to something else, they make all of your studies into CSV forms. Only they separate out each element of your testing without labels, without any indication as to where they go. So I spent a good 2 months downloading all of VMware's user research and then realizing that there's no labels. So I have results from one test over top of questions from another test. And so I had to start all over again and come up with a way to organize everything such that you could open up a study, here's the date and all that. But the inconvenience of it was very telling about how people, not just, the onboarding for that particular tool, that
Mm-hmm.
particular repository, is great. Like you just load it all up and their AI just kind of does all that stuff for you. The offboarding though is brutal, absolutely brutal, because they did, you don't want to be our customer anymore.
Right.
What do we have to? We don't care. Well, just go. Oh, and here are all your studies mixed together.
It's so funny because those are the people who leave are probably your most valuable asset
Yeah.
because you need to know why they left and stop other people from leaving. So if you don't understand that, it's so wild. So many people that I talk to who actually understand UX and why it's now a separate field of study are not the people who went to school for it. They're us who lived it. We lived UX before it was UX. We had to know how to sell to people because otherwise our design wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
It all comes down to like, how does its branding, how does this brand act around XYZ audience? And, you're saying the offboarding was terrible. Well, that's bad branding.
It was brutal. It was really brutal. We never once got a CSAT survey. Like, the metrics of the whole experience were just terrible. Just really, they weren't measuring anything of consequence. They surely weren't measuring cognitive load.
Right.
They weren't measuring, is it a matter of trust with us? No, not a matter of trust with you. Are you stressed about using us? No, we're not stressed about using you. We just found we got a better deal. That's
Right.
all.
Well, and that's valuable too. Can our services be priced
Yeah.
lower to be more competitive? It's so crazy to me. You know, I don't even have words anymore. I feel like I've like beaten the horse to death over this whole idea that branding is everywhere and everything. I don't know. What's the worst interview you've ever had? I love this question. How many years? I'll tell you mine.
The worst one I've ever had. Human factors engineer at Cerner.
Mm.
This was years ago. This was back in the very beginning of my career. I saw a role for Cerner come out. I had just gotten laid off at United Healthcare. And I was like, that's the one I want. Human factors, operations, let's go, let's go. Field work, it had just about everything I was looking for. And so they fly me, let's see, where was I at the time? I think I was in Denver at the time. And they flew me into Kansas City, which I hadn't been back to in decades. I grew up here, but I'd never been back. And so it was a 6-hour long interview. It had 3 stages, 4 if you count the debrief. The first one was just kind of, hey, how are you? Second round was resume. It was the third round that was the worst. So it was two other human factors scientists, UX researchers, and they brought in a stack of 87 pages. And on each page, there's a black and white interface with, arrow points and buttons that are clicked and all that. And they said, okay, you've got an hour. Take this stack and make it into a salient pitch, how you would study it, what metrics you would use across the board. Black and white, no colors, nothing. No indication as to what was being designed, tested, researched, nothing. And they got up and they left the room. I failed miserably. I could
I
make
mean,
heads
how
or
is that
tails of
enough
it.
an hour?
The
You would
thing
need
is,
days for that.
well, and it was all mixed up. Like it wasn't like page 1, this is the screen, and this is your onboarding screen. Flip it over, and there's this screen, and follows a flow. No. It was all mixed up. 87 odd pages of just screens. I wasn't allowed to ask any questions of anyone. They basically left me in the room alone. I had a whiteboard, and rather than just giving up, I soldiered on and tried to come up with some kind of relevant pitch of what I was attempting to convey. And they didn't even let me get back to the hotel before they sent me the no reply, don't bother. You asked me why teams aren't tripping themselves all over to get me on their teams. The truth is I'm geographically undesirable for most teams. I'm in Kansas City. There is no UX here. Nobody knows what the UX is here. Nobody knows. I told somebody I was UX researcher. They're like, that's great. What is that? If I had said it anywhere else, San Francisco, Austin, DC, New York, Florida, oh, you really? That's really interesting. Tell me more about that.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what it is here. We're still a marketing and sales and healthcare and marketing kind of town.
Right.
There's no user experience here to speak of. I moved to a dead zone. I moved to a desert. And then so when UX jobs do come up here in Kansas City or in this Kansas City area, oh, I'm all over them. I
Yeah.
don't even care,
I mean,
but
a lot of things are remote now. Do you ever apply to remote things?
sure, all the time because
Yeah.
nobody pays relocation,
Right. Nobody
which is
anymore.
ironic. So anyway, I try to, there's a lot of people on LinkedIn who actively avoid other people. And what I mean by that is there are a number of prominent names in the LinkedIn world, right, that don't keep company with each other and avoid each other or that group or whoever it is as much as they can. I try to be friends with everyone.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you
Yeah.
want to be friends with everybody? Everybody has something to offer.
Now there are those who I'm friends with who carry points of view that I don't necessarily agree with,
Right. Which that's human. That's
which is
humanity.
human. Right.
It's the greatness of us all.
If there's I am sure there are points of view that I express or that I think about. Operational UX research as opposed to sitting in under product, right? I am sure when I let that one out in the open all the way, there's going to be
Someone's
people
gonna
that
hate it.
there's going to be people that are going to be, you're out of your goddamn mind.
What are you
There's no
talking
way.
about?
Well, you don't know what the hell you're talking about, buddy. That's fine.
Yeah.
I offer my points of view as hypotheses and theses. I want people to argue and discuss and so much of UX is this giant fireside kumbaya. I don't like that at all. I think we should yell and
Should argue. Yeah.
yeah.
You should be passionate about what you think a user should see. The passion has died. I mean, in my opinion.
I think that's right. I think that UX has gotten used to the idea of being order takers.
Right. Everybody is becoming an order taker.
An order
But who's
taker and
giving the orders? That's what we should be asking.
I think that's a good question. I think that's worth exploring. It's worth doing your research on. Great.
Who is controlling the world? It's Omnicom, guys. Wake up. With that, we will take our leave. Thanks for joining us, you guys. This was super fun. Anything? Want to say your goodbyes?
Goodbye, everybody.
See you next week.
See you next time.
Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.